Good evening, Prescott Valley. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 14th Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. We'll start this with a roll call, please, Kathy.
Commissioner Frayer,
Here.
Commissioner Brinkman,
Here.
Commissioner Fallman, here, Commissioner Trevini,
Here.
Chairperson Gummer.
Yes. Moving on, we'll go to the approval of agenda, but we need to make an amendment. We are going to make 9A under the announcements. It would be 5E.
I'll make a motion to move item 9A, item 5.
Seconded.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Moving along, we'll get into the approval of the minutes for the June 12th, 2018 regular meeting. A motion for the approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the June 12, 2018 regular meeting minutes.
I have a motion and a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Moving on, we'll go to the approval of the minutes for the July 10th, 2018 work study meeting minutes. Do I have a motion for that approval?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 10th, 2018 work study meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Moving on, we go to announcements. We will hand the mic over to our director, Brian Liddy.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm going to kick things off with reminding you all, along with our listeners out there in listener land, because I think that's where they exist, right?
That is where they
That's
exist.
what I was told. If not, we're going to blame it on Channel 56 guys, because that's what they're the authorities on this matter. But I want to remind you all, at the end of this month, Saturday, August 25th and 26th, the town of Prescott Valley will be celebrating their 40th anniversary in their Pinnacle Weekend. Parking, admission, bounce houses, entertainment, all those awesome things are entirely free this entire weekend. So plan to come out and join us. We have all kinds of fun, food trucks, vendors, community groups, entertainers galore, historians, magicians, comedians, and some pretty cool tribute bands as well that will be joining us. If you're into the entertainment of Heart, Journey, Eric Clapton, and ABBA, then we have flipped the bill for you, because this is what's going to be going on. We also have a wonderful ice cream Sunday community social, which is free, compliments of one of our great sponsors. We have a bunch of contests. We have the Flying Monkey Half-Court Contest, compliments of Northern Arizona Suns. So sign up at their booth and be ready to be one of those contestants drawn from that raffle. We also have, because this is our 40th anniversary, what's that famous gemstone for 40 years, an anniversary celebration? Oh, you're close. It's ruby. You nailed it. So, emerald or ruby, we still have our theme that we have chosen and carried out throughout this anniversary year of the Wizard of Oz. So in doing that, as you heard me talk about the Flying Monkey Contest, we also have Good Witch, Bad Witch, which we're looking for contestants to come out in costume, as well as give their best, I'll get you my pretty, or, what's the Good Witch say? There's no place like home. There's no place like home. So we're looking for those contests. The Cowardly Lion will be on hand in regards to another contest that we have, in which the guys and the gals can both show off. We're looking for fabulous mane, all of that wonderful hair to show off your do. It can be modern or it can be retro, so think about that, as well as guys to also showcase all of their beard, their lion's mane beard and mustache. So we got a little crazy contest looking retro there. All kinds of fun things. Saturday night, we also are reenacting the Prescott Valley version of Hollywood Squares. So we get all kinds of celebrities up in the square. You can also be put in for raffling and meeting some of our lucky contestants that will be part of participating and winning awesome prizes there. So all kinds of fun, cool things that are going on Saturday and Sunday. We encourage everybody to come on out and enjoy. There's a cowboy church service on Sunday. Some folks are also going to be married. It's an opportunity to renew vows. All kinds of cool stuff is going on. I mentioned the ice cream social. That'll take place at 3:30 on Sunday. So tons of events and activities are available to you. If you do have interest in still becoming a vendor, whether an arts or a crafter, or you're a community business that would like to come out and engage the community and showcase yourself, any of those types of awesome things, you can go to the website at pbaz.net. You can download those applications and actually register online with us. Kicking the whole event off on Sunday morning is a great big giant car show. We're looking for cars from 1920 all the way up to today, exotics. We're looking for best paint jobs, best engines, best upholstery, all of these kinds of different things. There's a People Choice Award amongst the Mayor's Award, and all of those different categories as far as decadal processes that we have. That application and entry can also be done online via the website. If that's not working for you, give us a call at the office, 759-3090. We'll be able to help you out and take you through those registration processes, and you'll be able to also download or schedule and program that we have available there too. Site maps included, and even if you don't do any of those things, wait till you get on site. We've got all kinds of cool things, great big illustration boards telling you where things are at and what the schedule of events will be. So please come out, plan to put that on your schedule, and we will enjoy it.
And that's located at Mountain Valley, the event hub, or right here?
It is right here at the Civic Center, but an important note as it relates to Mountain Valley, Commissioner Frayer, is the simple fact that our 4th of July fireworks that were canceled will actually be conducted during the 40th anniversary celebration. That will take place at 9 o'clock. Those will be set off from Mountain Valley Park. That is our location where we can set off a display of that scale and scope. So that will still take place, but it will be Mountain Valley Park. There are no other scheduled activities that particular night. So if you want to be part of the concerts and other activities that are going on, the Civic Center is the place to be. But please feel free going out to Mountain Valley Park, set up shop out there, enjoy the fireworks and all of the glory that will be there. But right here at the Civic Center, you'll be able to see them perfectly fine, because we can see the ball field lights from here, and those fireworks go much further up than those ball field lights ever do. So that is our activity.
Where will the car show be?
I'm sorry?
Where are you going to have the car show?
The car show will actually be out on Lakeshore. We're closing down Lakeshore from Civic Circle to Civic Circle, so we're going to have the car show out there, that Flying Monkey half-court shot contest. Our food and beverage vendors, adult beverage vendors will be out there. Just a whole host of different events and activities, so we will have that all closed off for those 2 days.
This sounds better than Disneyland. And what was it cost again?
Zippo, except for what you would like to eat, drink, or buy at the arts and crafts that will be here on site and take home with you.
Outstanding.
There must have been a wizard that came up with this.
He was behind the curtain, I can tell you that much, so no doubt whatsoever. All right, our next item is the Rotary Balloon Fest, and we have a guest speaker that's going to tell us a little bit about that. So I'm going to invite Ms. LaDonna to come on up.
Hi.
Well, thanks for the opportunity to give you a preview of what we're planning this year. This is going to be a little different from previous years of the Balloon Fest. Okay, thank you. This year, the Rotary, Prescott Valley Rotary Club has brought in, for multiple reasons, because we have a lot of big brothers, big sisters that are in our Rotary Club, and we know that there's a big need right now for the big brothers, big sisters to expand their facilities because they can't get the kids that are in the Prescott Valley area and surrounding area to downtown Prescott area, downtown Prescott area. It's just not a big accommodation. So what we've committed to do is to re-resurrect the Balloon Fest and create it a festival along with a fundraiser to sponsor, Rotary to sponsor the fundraising for paying the annual rent for the new facility here in Prescott Valley, for the Hybrid Brothers and Big Sisters, which there is approximately 200 myself for getting a lot of involvement, of course, with Bain Group and Signal ZZ and the town of Prescott and Parks and Recreation, of course, to also help us with sponsorship in part. And then we're out there talking to local businesses to get different sponsorship packages. I brought the packet that we're putting out to the different businesses. And what we're going to plan on doing is create a full day of fun instead of in the past, the Balloon Fest was more of a morning event where the balloons would go up and then they would launch, and then later in the day they would come back and they do the glow, and then the next morning they would go ahead and launch again, weather providing, and then everything was, you know, good to successfully do the balloon runs. So knowing that the issues were there in June in the past with the weather and conditions, we moved it to September, and we're gonna do the first year as a balloon glow. So we're not gonna risk the problems of not being able to launch the balloons, but we really want to create more of a festivities along with the glow, and then next year we're always bigger and bigger and bigger. So, I'm a new Rotarian, and I'm new to the area. I've been here for just barely a year, and got involved with Rotary and saw this effort and was very passionate about it. So we've been very, I guess, successfully working with some great sponsors. We have Finley in, we've got Hometown Radio that's going to just do major coverage for us. We've got Little Deal, Little Prices that's going to come in and sponsor us with 2,000 ads for Netlify Radio. And we've got Ansley that's going to do a lot of marketing for us and do a donation package on setting up a beer garden. And so we have the adult beverages, and we have a vendors registration in progress right now that we're sending out online. Get our vendors registered anywhere from jewelers to artists, and of course food vendors, so that we'll have a variety of different types of attractions to different groups of people. Because not everybody's just a balloon person. Not everybody just wants to come and see the balloons. And this way, we've got all of that going on, and we collaborated with the Vet Club, who's downtown on the 22nd doing their big vet show. And they're going to, when they finish up there around 3:30 with their awards, they're going to parade the cars down Prescott Valley and then bring them in and circle the circle and have them displayed for that 2 to 3 hours where we do the glow. We should start the glow approximately 6 o'clock. And they'll get the balloons right raising up, and then they'll start blowing about sunset, which will be a pretty beautiful sight, along with our plan of having a lot of different balloons in the area. We're gonna get the type of balloons that you use for like car dealerships, where you see the big balloons, and we'll have balloons everywhere, just to really make it colorful and festive. We're having different balloon activities with the kids. The kids will be doing with Interact. Interact is coming in to work with the kids to help with different kids' games. We'll do some balloon tossing and get prizes out. And Putt-Putt is donating free Putt-Putt to all of the Amplify littles. And they're also giving us 100 free Putt-Putt wristbands for any of the other kids that want to come in and go to free Putt-Putt. So they'll bring families in with their kids. And the Civil Air Academy is going to come in, and they're going to bring their young guys and gals in their uniforms and set up a booth and talk about the whole, benefit of getting involved in that type of mentorship. So the big goal is bringing the community together to support the little guys and the little girls, that we can have the community see how much effort we're putting together to have a successful mentorship program. And in turn, we're doing business down to downtown Prescott Valley. So we're approaching all the businesses around there, for an example, like Garcia's and Gabby's, to have their own booth out there too, so that they're in the middle of the festivities. And then we're having, let's see if I'm going to forget anything.
sorry.
is,
What are we-
might want to come on up here and add to the fun and flavor. So Chuck is the big brother to one of the kids who's been mentoring for 5 years. So it's really close and passionate to him. And Chuck Abbott, Abbott Insurance.
Nice to meet you,
And,
folks.
yeah, so I've gotten down to about, well, we've got the radio stations, of course, and then we've got Bentley, of course, is at the town that is donating 5,000. So we're getting really close to our sponsorship quota, so we're feeling really good about that at this point in time, because there's so much going on. Everybody's out there marketing to everybody to do stuff at this time of the year, because everybody's all doing everything during this 3-4 month window. So we're doing really well with our sponsorship growth. And one of the things that we were just talking about today was that we might even have a sponsorship for the hotel rooms from one of the local hotels. If not, then the Vet Club is going to step in and give us their support and all their discounted rack rates. So we're really networking with a lot of the different other events going on, and wanting to just make this bigger than the Balloon Fest has ever been in the past, and making it an all-day event.
And that's going back, bless her heart, she's new and excited and wants to help Prescott Valley community. I do too. I live here in Prescott Valley. Rotary has failed in the last couple of years to be able to provide a Balloon Fest. So we've redone it this year, and as she's explaining, we've found partners with Signals AZ for some advertising and a partnership with the Fame Group, so we can move this thing downtown. Thanks to Ladonna, we've got the core of entertainment and vendors, along with radio spots, and the Corvette Club's going to come down. Balloons are going to be here for the blows. It's going to be, we think, a start of, again, very successful Balloon Fest here in years past. We're going to put it back. This year's a little rough because we're changing so much of the venue, but through, Brian and a lot of people have been good to help us, and we've done a lot of partnerships, bringing people together, and putting an office here in Prescott Valley for Brothers and Sisters. That touches 200 kids
Yeah.
that day, so we're very excited about that. So that's, behind that, we want to give Prescott Valley another feather in their hat to have an event where we got balloons that will come here, and we've got plans for that going forward with the balloon people down in the valley. So we're very excited, appreciate the opportunity, and I'm new to the Rotary, I'm president, so I've been a year with them, and I'm just excited to be a part of the opportunity here to do something special. So I'll leave it to Ladonna to, she's really been the, pull this all together for us. So.
Well, it sounds like you have a really great event plan, and all of the components that you mentioned really should come together and make it a real success. I think especially the experience that we've gathered in the last, few years, Brian, I've changed a lot of the way that we're thinking and looking at things. This sounds like it's going to be great. So I'm glad to see it. Big Brothers and Sisters is a really fantastic organization. I know there is a significant need here in Prescott Valley as well. So I'm really glad to see this. I think it will be a success.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
I think what you said too is the excitement you guys have, we have just as much excitement. The Balloon Fest in the past was always fun, families got out, wanted to see the balloons, and of course sometimes weather and things. So the first year we're having the glow will be absolutely wonderful. And then if we can just follow up and keep building and building, and like I say, it's going to help the kids in the community. That's the main object. And we thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you, and it's so interesting because we just left the meeting, the debate with the mayors, and we're listening to the issues, of course, and what the meaning is to go on in Prescott Valley and how to put Prescott Valley on the map. And one of the core things they were talking about is really creating this a venue for festivals and entertainment and concerts, so that
Start passing through Prescott
yeah,
Valley.
destination,
Stop here and see where the
destination
balloons
places
are at.
where they were talking about. I can't
I have
remember.
a question. If there's some other businesses or folks in town who would like to be a sponsor, who should they call?
I'm gonna leave this with you, and then I'll get, if I can get business cards, or however you want me to do that, if you want me to email him directly to Brian, and he can, sort of, I have that electronically, so that way our contacts on there, they have email. They can call us, email us, however they want.
You've got, I think, 3 contact numbers on there.
Yeah.
And just, again, being a Rotarian for many, many years, going into the town, you see those funny signs, that's a healthy community. And that means there's a lot of healthy people, civic-minded people in that community supporting those clubs. Rotary's, for whatever reason, has not met that task for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's in its demise. So we're down here to rebuild it. We've got new people, new interests, and new focus. And focus is on the business of Prescott Valley and how the club can bring the power of Rotary. So Rotary does things, Lions do things, Kiwanis do things. We're just saying Rotary back, and we'll fill that void that we left a couple of years ago, and we can hear more from us and about us joining the other great clubs here in town, Lions and Kiwanis. But we've been a little vacant for the last couple of years, and we're back.
We're glad you're here.
Absolutely.
And it's been, one vision of this commission also has been to try and get people to stop in this community instead of drive through to Prescott. So we've always been looking at events, tournaments, whatever we can bring. And we're just happy to hear you guys are back, coming back strong. And I think we'll have all the support you guys will ever need for anything you come at us.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Is it reasonable to ask you, do you, ladies and gentlemen, have business cards?
Not with me.
Not with you? But I can get like a contact for Brian.
Sure.
Who's the one?
First application, approved, we're all good.
Well, he's gonna rally and get a couple
Thank you.
So I was
very
Okay.
much. Appreciate
Thank you so much for coming.
Meeting him because I've never met the face.
We're sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I know, I love that road trip. It's a great
Okay,
road.
moving on, we'll go to the 5K for the hell of it with
Yes.
Brian.
We have that scheduled for Saturday, September 29th. Your entrance fee is $15 for 12-year-olds and under, $20 for 13-year-olds and up. Registration is now open through September 22nd. Fee includes the race, event shirt, water and snacks, the free 5K for the hill, but whatever water bottle for the first 30 registered participants. So be there, be square, and grab that water bottle quick. We're going to start our event over at Glassford Hill Middle School, which is located off of East Panther Path. And upon checkout, you'll be asked if you are a runner, jogger, or a walker or hiker. Runners and joggers flight will start promptly at 7 a.m., and the walkers and hikers flight will take off at 7:30. That way everybody can get underway without any conflict. We do ask that you please leave strollers and dogs at home for the safety of all of our participants, as well as those in the strollers and their puppies that are on leash. Please park in the parking lot next to Glassford Hill Middle School, and staging and check-in will occur on the basketball court area outside of the school. So, our 5K for the hill of it is back. We're going on Glassford Hill. It is a 5/10K this year. We're providing the up as well as the back, encouraging a full route of that 10K route. So that is the excitement that's going on this year for our Run for the Hill of It.
Very cool.
Very good. I know Elaine's was one of the first ones to sign up for the 10K this year. We're so proud to have Elaine on our team doing that. I heard she's gonna lead the thing up and down.
Yes, and what she explained to me is that she's got the first 100 feet, then after that, she passes the baton to you, and you've got the up and back, and that greets you at the finish line.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm glad we worked that out.
I'm all for it.
Oh, shoot, I can always count on you guys.
Moving on, we'll go to Gold Fever Day.
Yes, sir. This is, Gold Fever Days is coming back Saturday, October 6th, 2018. Can you believe it's been almost a decade since the last Gold Fever Days. So this event is very dear to our heart. It is an activity that's been going on preceding me, and we're going to, much like the Rotary Club, we're going to keep bringing things back and moving them forward. Gold Fever Days is conducted at Fane Park, which is down off of North 5th Street here in Prescott Valley. And why do we do this? Because there's gold in their hills, okay? We're encouraging everyone to come join us and celebrate the rich history of Prescott Valley and its area with a focus on pioneer era living and mining for gold. Guests will have an opportunity to try their hand at gold panning as well as tour the historical sites at Fane Park, enjoy live entertainment, shop with local artisans and vendors, play the many games that we have in store, enter contests, learn survivalist skills, and much more. Food trucks will be on site, and there will even be a free fishing clinic between the hours of 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Do not miss this golden opportunity. Feel free to gain more information at pvaz.net or call the department at 759-3090 for Gold Fever Days on Saturday, October 6th in Fane Park.
Now with that, normally there's a parking problem down below, so will we be parking up top and moving buses down or transportation down?
Yes, there is limited parking that's available within the park, and it actually becomes part of our activity area. So to help offset that, before you even have a chance to go down North 5th Street, we will have our parking area as well as shuttles then that will transport folks down and back up. The back up will cost you $100 a head. No, I'm just teasing. The up and down is totally free. You will ride with bus. Okay, very good. So, no, shuttle as well as admission to the event is free, just like what we were explaining in our 40th anniversary. So we encourage everybody to come out and join us.
And it is a fun time for family, bring down the kids, see all the different things. It's just a great day down at the lake.
And
Exactly.
there's some history down there too.
Tons of history. Tons.
That's great. I'm glad we got back to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to the facility naming application for the Boys and Girls Club.
All righty. With that, inside of your packet, there has been an application for the renaming of a facility here in Prescott Valley. As many of you know, we went through some proposal information back to you several months ago. That was proposed and presented by Mr. Ryan Judy, our Deputy Town Manager, relating to a community development block grant for the expansion of the facilities in Mountain Valley Park known as the Boys and Girls Club, a community partner that we work very strongly with for a variety of different combined special events and activities for our young people, but more so to also help that organization serve our community in doing that. They have hundreds of children that come throughout their program, both before and after school programs. They also fill the gaps when school is not in session. They do a summer feeding program out of that facility. They do this community a wealth of good. But they're also a partner in this expansion project. So they have come to the table and they are bringing hundreds of thousands of dollars to this particular project. And with that, I'm going to turn this presentation and application over to its author, Mr. Gerald Sostak, from the Boys and Girls Club of Central Arizona, Prescott Valley chapter.
Thank you, Brian. Good evening, Commission. I guess start. The town has been a big part of the Boys and Girls Club since probably about 2000, since we've been in the space that we're currently still in on Robert and Moose Road. As you guys might know, it was the old adult center, so it was never really set for kids. It was never a kid-friendly building. When we had the opportunity to talk to the town, and Ryan came to us with Ryan about a possible partnership of the CDBG funding, we were very excited. We didn't know what that would look like. Probably took us, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years to kind of really see what we could do. And we decided that, let's go for a gym. This town really needs it, so it's not just a Boys and Girls Club building at all. It's a community building. In fact, one of our partners, the Northern Arizona Suns, gave us quite a few dollars that they'll be practicing in it just because of the fact that we are an after-school program, so we don't run all day long. And then, you know, the beauty of it too is that the Parks and Rec Department will use it, you know, of course, when we're not there. But we're only there from 2:30 to 6:30, Monday through Friday. But it's very exciting what we'll be able to do with that building, from different leagues, adults to kids to what have you. Brian's already got, of course, his plans for the building. And of course, just being a Boys and Girls Club and doing it the way, national throughout the nation does their leagues and those kinds of things. So we're very excited to actually be able to start offering that. And the biggest thing is it'll allow us to serve more kids. We've been on a waiting list since the second week of July for our after-school program. So we need to serve more kids, and this will allow us to do that, not only because of the gym, but also there's a few things that also will be taking place throughout this project. A courtyard will be built in the middle of the two buildings that will link the existing building up to the gym. And then we're not stopping there. We'll start raising additional capital to remodel the building and the existing building and make it a true Boys and Girls Club. That being said, the application before you today involves the Fain family and what they've done for the Boys and Girls Club, and to honor a gift that they've given us. We were short quite a bit of money. The Fain family came through and provided the funds to get us over the hump and to actually make this a reality. So throughout the application that you read, the Fains have been very generous to the community, especially to the Boys and Girls Club. Brad Fain, their CEO, was a longtime board member of the Boys and Girls Club, also a former chair. They also, him and his wife, have participated in our Dancing for the Stars event that raised quite a bit of money just through those two alone. And this is just to kind of celebrate that family, and also just a little bit of history of Boys and Girls Club and how we name our branches. It would be called the Fain Family Branch. As an organization, we're very proud of that. It means something, especially when a kid, don't worry, that's my daughter, sorry, she was done with her homework. When a child 30 years from now, knows that they went through, the Fain Family Branch or, something like that, it's a proud symbol. So again, thank you for consideration on the naming event, and if you have any questions, please let me know.
I don't think we can thank the Fains enough for what they do for our community. And I think it's wonderful that they do step up when we need. And looking out for the kids of the community, it has been many, many years where we haven't had enough facilities for our kids at the Boys and Girls Club. I'm excited for a gymnasium to come to this town for the children. Shared use for all of us. It's going to benefit this whole town. I can't find a reason why we would have any trouble with any of this.
Yeah, we've been really following and rather excited that this project is moving forward. I'm really glad to see the construction moving finally. Brian Judy has kind of kept us up to speed on what's going, so we do understand that. And Buzz is completely correct. The Fain family has helped the community over and over, and stepping up in this, it seems really appropriate that the branch be named the Fain Family Branch.
Absolutely, and thank you, Gerald, for bringing the Boys and Girls Club back to the forefront as well. As the commissioners that have been in town a long time knows, it wasn't always in such great shape as it is today, and your partnerships and relationships you've built throughout the community, both in Prescott Valley and Prescott, have really paid off. So thank you for doing that for the community.
Thank you.
Elaine, anything?
I'm just glad that it's being updated. It's going to look really nice, other than just a small rectangular building that really wasn't inviting.
Yeah.
It's going to be really spectacular. I'm delighted with that.
Kevin?
I was actually at the groundbreaking ceremony, so I'm glad to see that the construction is getting back to work. And I know what Buzz and Ron said as well. I concur with that. It's going to be really exciting for all the kids.
Yeah.
Not only the kids, but everyone else in town. So we're real excited about
It's
this.
the adults, everybody. So we're very excited.
That's the biggest
Appreciate
benefit.
your work ethic too. Thank you.
I think that's the biggest benefit is the children. Because even in the summertime, when the kids are out of school, people have come to us and said, there's not anything for the kids to do in the summertime, or nowhere, the Boys and Girls Club is full, and now we're expanding, and now we're seeing more growth for the kids. I think it's just wonderful.
Well, this brings the community together, you know, we do things in parks in one area or there, but it isn't always for the community. And this is for the entire community of Prescott Valley. It's just so very important, so, thank you very much.
Very good, you guys.
Ryan, do we need a motion? So I would make a motion to recommend to the council the approval of the name, the Fame Family Branch for the new addition.
Second.
Second, motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Gerald, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, guys, appreciate it.
Moving on, we'll go to department updates. First off, we will hear the director's report. I guess he hasn't done a thing for the month of June and July, so.
No,
Not
really.
Oh, yeah, we'll give him a minute.
I was gonna say, those are vacation months. Isn't that what's supposed to be going on? I think the report definitely reflects the level of service that has come not only out of my department, but the rest of the department, because you know, when I'm gone on vacation, they just, you know, it's fun games after those moments in time, so there's no doubt about it.
Runs nice and smoothly when you're on vacation.
Without a doubt.
Sometimes better.
Yes.
I know Kathy runs a place.
We know caddies.
Again, I can always count on you, so doing that. All right, awesome. Well, you know, within the month of June, we had some tremendous movie nights that were out here on the lawn, run by Miss Hope Cooper and the team there, aiding her through those developments. We had several thousand people in attendance over the course of that program. Right now, we finished wrapping up softball. Hard to believe we're already starting it back up again. Matter of fact, it started just the other, last Friday night on the weekend, getting things going there. All kinds of planning throughout these 2 months worth of reports related to the 40th anniversary, a couple of different parades and activities and developments of floats going on. Also going through the process of finding professional services that are out there to help us conduct the event, negotiating contracts, performers, all of those good kinds of things. We battled Mother Nature again in regards to some monsoon-related events at various parks because the reason for that is they worked exactly the way they were designed to. You saw in the newspaper, our newest park, Bob Edwards, unfortunately had some kayakers and canoers in it, which we don't recommend for use of the park in that manner during those moments and times. But we also had our Viewpoint Park, or Quailwood Park, functioning in those measures, and that is there a detention basin that catch those waters to help negatively impacting a variety of areas adjacent to them. And in some ways, we're still working through the recovery processes. Fane Park, we're working through, not only did we get some rainwater, but we also have a lot of mud and debris that is caked in. We've done quite a bit of work trying to mitigate that. We've been able to recover some turf, but we're negatively being impacted there. And it's going to take time for us to get that growth coming back to us and doing those types of things. But our parks are doing the jobs that they're designed to and facilitate for us in those efforts. We also suffered through a drought process. We talk about on one extreme and we go to the other, where unfortunately our 4th of July fireworks was canceled. But we came up with an alternative plan, found some community support members, and were able to produce a wonderful concert, some inflatables and other activities for our guests, where we were able to sit back, relax, and enjoy and celebrate the freedoms that we have on 4th of July, just in perhaps a non-traditional way of doing that. And we're going to be able to rekindle those activities coming up in the 40th and doing that and celebrate there too, and doing those things. So with that being said, I know there's a whole host of different items in there. You may have a few or no questions at all, but I am happy to answer any of them related to my report or the department's report as a whole for you.
Questions, comments? Go ahead.
Did we get credit for the water involved, Edwards, like, 100,000 acre feet of recharge,
Well,
credits?
by slowing those flows and holding them back for a little bit, we gave ourselves a much greater opportunity for it to recharge back into the system. So what those credits were, I don't know.
Oh,
And I take it the grass has recovered from the drought, Bob Edwards, with the.
Yes, all of our properties have done well. Of course, we were participating, just like every other member of our community here, when we had some restrictions going on. So we were participating in that as well. I think we all saw some of those impacts, but we were in a safe standpoint of not losing them. And now with monsoons coming right back, it's like we never went through it. So that's a very nice thing, but it was also an unfortunate situation in which we had some mechanical failures going on in our infrastructure there. So that was basically what we were dealing with, and we needed all players involved to participate with that.
your monthly report statistics look really good.
They're not too bad. We double checked some things because we always go through that process. We'll be reporting to you in the next few upcoming months our annual report reflecting on all of those things. So we'll have additional figures and numbers to be able to give to you. I will remind the commission that to please take note. You'll see an actual trend down, not only both in revenues but also participation numbers because of the transfer of ice skating to the event center and their operations. It will leave our department. But we will be supporting the event center in regards to promoting so that folks know how and who and when and have that direct conversation and continuity so that they do come to us in the department and the town, they will understand and be able to connect with the event center next door.
Good.
And that's where those services will be held.
So there will be the employees, the temporary employees that have worked at the event center will be event center employees. Huh?
There will be that possibility. All of our staff, when we concluded the end of the season, we made those introductions and also expressed those future opportunities that would be. And that could have began right at the end because of their need for employees for their other events throughout the year. It may just be starting up again too.
Okay.
Okay?
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to the chairperson's report. So as we all know, we have talked about pickleball courts and the popularity of the sport, and we're moving forward with Animal Park getting some pickleball courts. So Danny Boy is a volunteer in the town, and he's an ambassador for the pickleball. He came to us that evening with the meeting and invited all of us to come and try the game. And so I took my wife out there on Monday night, and we went to Pronghorn, and he has a session from 4 to 6, or on Wednesdays from 6 to 9. So I went out there just to kind of see what this was all about. So Danny Boy is volunteering his time, his equipment, and everything. We got there was probably about 9 people there, and he called us the newbies. And we got out there, we watched a couple times we watched a game being played and saw the fun, and it wasn't the terrible, what I thought was going to be strenuous and running and gasping for air. It was a lot of fun. I see the addiction. So we are now addicted, and we're going on Mondays and Wednesdays. So, but the growing numbers of pickleball interest, and because of Danny Boy offering us the opportunities to go to Pronghorn on his time, he signs up there and reserves the courts, and people show up, and he's teaching the game, and he's just making it fun, and it was unbelievable. And now I see. I actually got to play a couple games, and my wife was there, and then we both looked at each other in the car as we're hot and sweaty, guzzling water, saying, that was fun. Yeah, let's go again on Wednesday. So I think we're on track with pickleball and seeing the vision of the future here in Prescott Valley, saying we need pickleball courts. And he was telling us some of the Pioneer Park games, how you just go and you have to just sit and wait until, it's kind of like when you used to play pickup basketball. Okay, you guys are next. And as long as these teams win, they keep the court. And then, but it's just a huge growing popular sport. And I invite you all out on Monday nights 4 to 6, or on Wednesdays 6 to 9. Even if you just come and watch and see the process of the game and the teaching, it was so much fun. And we've had so many people and just nice and fun, and it was just a good time had by all. that's Monday night, 6 to 9, 4 to 6 on Monday nights, and 6 to 9 on Wednesday nights. And if you want to pop out, you can watch me in some action Wednesday. Show you my skills.
Can we assume now that you are officially pickled?
I've been picking. It's been, and it is, once you guys go out and give it a shot, and I was worried about how strenuous it was gonna be, how much, and it was, you have 4 people and you're just defending a side of a court, so it was very simple, and we had fun. You get some cardio, you're getting some exercise, had a blast.
You won.
So, but the kudos to Danny for taking his own time and really pushing this pickleball and making it grow here in Prescott Valley and making it grow. We talked to the people about the courts coming to Manuel Park. We're all excited. People were asking, okay, how are we going to get these things? Donations, sure. They were all
In Granville, if that ever.
Correct. Correct.
What were we putting in, 12, 16?
Four. But 4 pickleball courts, that's 8 teams. So, and the demand is rising out here. Right now, Prescott is just unbelievably full. It's every night, every week it's full. So for Prescott Valley, it's ours. They stay where we use ours. But it is. I was very surprised how much fun, and even my wife was a little leery because she's got some knee surgeries under her belt, and it was like, let's be careful. And she just had a ball.
Yeah.
And we looked at each other, I said, let's keep doing this. So instead of sitting in the home with the remote in your hand, put a paddle ball in your hand and hit a wiffle ball at somebody.
There you go.
It was a lot of fun.
Standing ping pong, right?
Pretty much. It was that simple. There was a few rules I broke many times, but Danny corrected me, but it is, and it's a learning process.
Good thing Danny was there.
Oh, yeah, and it was just a lot of, and the people that were there are so nice. And they're not there to win, they're there to have some fun, get a little exercise. It was just an amazing time. So I invite you all to come out and just watch and start helping spread the word on our pickleball. Questions, comments? Okay, I will see you all there Wednesday night. Moving on, we'll go to the Tree Advisory Committee. Chairperson's report. The grants have been wrapped up. Everything's been submitted. We're going to get together with dates of meetings. We're going to try and look at maybe some workshops and different things for the year, hoping we can partner maybe with APS and some of the people that have different venues that we can look at and say, hey, can you offer this, or can you give a class and people will attend? And we still want to keep up being the tree advisory city that we have been, the tree city that we've been. We've got a good long record of getting it, so we're just going to keep on going. And I invite anybody who wants to come to the meetings. We'll let you know the dates and times. If whoever wants to come, be sure to come and listen in.
Yeah, that's really important. We have a lot of new people in town. We're also seeing a lot of the trees damaged. I see in Pronghorn, we're replacing trees, and the world's changing. So,
any questions, comments? Hearing none, we'll go on to old business. We'll go to letter A, capital project updates.
Yes, sir. Just going to give some quick updates in regards to matters at hand in which we're accomplishing. So we've been able to procure our truck. So that transfer has taken place. So we're getting that equipped and underway, getting those things done. You saw some other pieces of equipment. You saw a Sand Pro item that is basically for ball field maintenance. So that is under review and actually preparing to issue a request for acceptance for that. So we'll be going to council and having that handled and done. We've tested out some tractors. We had our utility tractor listed for accomplishment, so we're looking forward to getting those reviews done and over with, and then making some final decisions and then recommendations to council for its procurement. So those are some very exciting items for us. As of the end of business today, Coilwood swings have been installed. So all of the work that staff did for the removals of the other items that were there, that has been completed. Now the swings are installed, but we have one more truckload of the safety surfacing wood chips that will be coming in and put into place. Once they are there, then the swings will be installed and fully open and functional in doing that. We also have our state contract for procurement of our new office copier being completed, so that'll be coming forward within about the next week. So that'll be in-house.
Kathy's
Rocking and rolling. Yeah, gotta keep Kathy happy, you know how that goes. So Kathy happy, rest of the team happy.
The whole Parks Commission.
Exactly, yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. So that's going to be happening. So there's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle that are coming through the process. One of the items on tonight's agenda is another one of those elements in regards to some playground updates. And so we'll be getting into a few more of those. We talked about Granville, so there's a couple of items related to it and its development. We're hopeful that those developments of that park will come forward in this current fiscal year. If not, we'll make some reallocation and re-request for allocation is what I should say for next fiscal year. And hopefully we'll move those items forward as well in doing that. So that is where we stand right now on our capital projects. I'm happy to answer any questions you have on any one of those particular items of concern, but right now, everything's moving as planned.
So all those big fiberglass artificial rocks have been removed?
Removed, yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Actually, when we got into it a little bit more, it's like, ooh, this is a good thing. So, no doubt. So,
Other comments, questions, Brian? Hearing none, we'll move on to the George Anderson Playground.
yes, sir. Commissioners, we have before you a number of different proposals stemming from interest related to the George Anderson Park Playground. We went out and engaged our community. We had a couple of participants that gave us, I was very impressed by the young people that were participating that morning. When we were out visiting, they knew exactly what they were looking for and identified it quite well. They were very clear and concise in regards to their presentations. So it was pretty doggone exciting to see that. I believe that a fair majority of these particular proposal items have been reflective of some of those requests, largely, a fair number of those requests that our young people were searching for coming out of that meeting. So what I have before you tonight is your individual packets, as well as a breakdown of all of the different components asked for in the RFPs, so that we can go through a process of your review. For the viewing audience, I of course have some slides here and can reflect upon those and then answer any questions that you may have in regards to the various different proposals that are in front of you. All of them have met within the budget limitations that we have. Some of them have met them at its complete maximum. Some of them have come under budget. These would be fully National Playground Safety Institute installed systems that will come forward. They will also have the safety surfacing element requirements that we have as a minimum standards here in town, which is the engineered wood fiber. In all of the different playground proposals that we have. We'll negotiate once the recommendation and then the approvals are given by council to work with not only the playground manufacturer, but also the installers with any of those elements that may come to pass during that process and time. We will also be able to talk in the future as it relates to color schematics that we would like to see. We received a few recommendations during our meeting, but we'll also need to look at the color palette programs that that particular manufacturer, whoever is chosen, that we can be able to put together in each of those components that are coming forth, so it's an integrated unit in doing such. These proposals do reflect that 2 to 12 year age frame that we're looking at. They are looking at in regards to ADA accessibility and the integrated play elements to those, so that's a pretty exciting thing to be able to have and make available. There are a few proposals that are not inclusive of swings. Not to say that is bad, but it does limit the playability of that particular site. So you'll see some comments and reflections from staff on those. They are demonstrated within the illustrations that you have. All of them meet or exceed our requirements that we have. They were, the proposals also paid close attention to the fact that we did not seek or desire tube slides or tube crawl units. That is not only for safety elements, but also for police complete through view sheds, those particular areas. Plus, we as a team have also discovered that we do not find that the durability of those particular elements meet our needs either. So that is more or less the review based upon those proposals, and we can walk through each one of these and I'll be able to give a little feedback on each of these items. If you will, on your first slide, this is a safe playground proposal listed within your package. Of course, through all of these slides, you're not tethered to the colors that are representative. These are just a sample of what we have, and you'll see changes throughout each one of these slides. So we'll go through that process after determinations made. So it definitely does integrate all the different various elements that we have. There's some new unique elements that they have presented. If you look in the far back, you see a modern adaptation of the old tire swing being made available to us. This particular proposal, if you look to your far left, you see a multi-eared orange apparatus that's kind of circular in shape. That's actually an all-inclusive merry-go-round. It's a new adaptation of that, but it allows folks to transfer from their chair directly into the unit themselves if they have that capability. And you can sit outward or you can sit facing inward, and then the spinning can occur thereafter that. This particular item, as well as a few, had several high star marks, recommendations from staff.
And it has the swings too.
Yes, it does. This is just another, more of an aerial version, eliminating all of the background noise, if you will, of that same particular play unit and its structure.
And are the color options the full range, or is it?
It's basically, however they have palletized the colors. So, you know, the uprights are this, and the platforms are that, and the plastics are such, and so on and so forth. Those are packaged color programs, and there is a vast array of color choices that we can make. You notice that the colors changed from one slide to the next. They're just showing you that they can provide a very diverse array of colors, reviews, and possibilities. I think we see that with our Tonto North playground unit, that's what that neighborhood was seeking in regards to the color scheme, and that was actually something that was available as part of that palette. Here we just transferred from some oranges more into the greens and blues in doing that. But that's exactly the same particular proposal.
So the wall, Brian, is that just interactive?
Yes, it's more of a ground level interactive. So your little tykes that are there, if those that are chair bound or any of those types of things, it's just another added feature. And those are those panels that we can go through and reflect and view. I think on one of the views on this, I think there's tic-tac-toe that you can do, and then there's manual manipulations and those types of things, so gross motor skill development, all of that kind of.
And the side with the three little, they look like chairs. If you go back to your first picture,
Yes, sir.
the orange with the girls, are those little just sit on, are they swings, or is it just something to sit on?
Those are actually little climbing obstacles. So you're actually going from a very passive activity to a very physical activity. So on the far right-hand side of that illustration, you see the little girl in the green sweater. She's transferring from each one of those saucers, and they're free-floating, so you have to use massive gross motor skills and hand and eye coordination to transfer from one apparatus to another. And then they're going to the modernized version of the monkey bars, or vice versa, depending upon what your destination is and the path that you choose. So that's exactly right. Much like on the, I believe on this next slide, you can see some of the wiggles to the left-hand side of the main play structure. That's the other side of this, and all of the physicalness that you have to go through in doing that.
And in your first picture, there was a little girl standing in the front on that round, it's blue with the,
Yes,
is that just a?
that's like a little globe pivoting, ratcheting, kind of almost a spring toy, if you will, but multiple parties, as opposed to just a single rider, if you will.
And it just kind of rotates around on a base.
Depending upon what direction
Where the weight
it's
is.
given to whomever.
And this set came in under budget.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, this particular item was the most under budget proposal in the project, which weighed with us as well too.
Pretty big bang for the buck.
Yes. And the nice part about that is if we find that there are needs, or we need to take X to get Y, and so on and so forth, we have a little flexibility. This is the one that gives us the greatest flexibility within the budget allowance that we have.
And especially in that area, because with the large tree there,
Correct?
you're gonna need a little flexibility in placements.
Great.
And I think it's exciting to see a merry-go-round. I mean, those things have been out of our playgrounds for
Outlawed,
many,
if you
many
will.
years.
That's exactly right. And they took it to the next level too.
And I mean, that's going to be pretty neat.
Yeah, this looks like a good set.
Okay.
Okay.
So the merry-go-round thing,
Yes, sir.
it's not gonna hold water when it rains, is it?
No, well, there's always that potential, but I think they've actually built drain sets in there. So those little pockets where we're gonna put our tush, yeah, that should mitigate itself. If not, just give it a good whirl.
Mom and Dad in there first.
Spray if you're standing.
There you are. Okay, so that was your option A, I believe, as it was listed on your list. This is your Play It Safe Playground option B. This one is quite unique in regards to the large conical spinner that's in the top left-hand corner here. It does have some other more physical demanding play features. It also has some of the ground panels, as we were talking before in the other unit, but it also is absent of any particular swing opportunity here for young people to engage in. This one is more modeled towards your 2 to 5 age group and very limited in your 6 to 12 age group.
I really feel we need swings.
Okay? All right. So we'll move on to option C then.
But just to let them know, that also came in under budget.
Yes, sir, that did. That was the next greatest under budget proposal that we received. Okay? This is option C. This had quite a bit of head turning to it in a very positive way. This is also coming from Play It Safe Playgrounds. Actually, it had the more preferred swing set as part of the proposed project. We're fans of the arched swings or the double leg swings as opposed to the single post, which was what was in your first proposal. This one also does have the saucer or more modernized tire swing. It also has that little rocky, wonky little piece. This one definitely has a lot of physicality to it because you're able to go up ropes. It's very similar to some of the other play feature that is over at Bob Edwards. I call them the dinosaur bones that climb through or go around or what have you. One of our young people was requesting that they like the balance beams or bridges. This one definitely has those types of components in regards to that balance aspect of doing those things, and it was found to be very favorable with
Is this
staff.
would fit in that area?
Yes, sir, it sure will. It sure will. This particular unit had a lot of play value to it, as well as number one.
Very active area, for sure.
Very, very active. It's
Incorporates
downside
a lot
is,
of the same elements that they had in the first one.
yes, and there's some give and take from both of those
Yeah.
in doing that.
The pricing's a little bit more, obviously, but
Yes,
um,
but within budget.
within budget,
Yes, sir.
exactly. And it's,
And the age groups again on this one?
This one is leaning more towards the older side of things. Now, there definitely is a playability on the younger side of things. The other aspect I like about this is there's baby swings
Yeah.
here in doing that. So those are some of those elements that, you know, we definitely look at and view very, very positively in doing this.
If you're 2, 3, 4-year-olds, maybe just the side with the slide. The rest would be pretty tough for a mom to let her.
Yeah, you would definitely have the slide side. I would concur with you that the other half does not necessarily fit their skill sets of yet. But when you look at the modern tired swing, the little rocker ball, as well as the swings behind this particular proposal, you're talking at you know, a fair 60-65% of playability even for the young ones too, in doing that.
It looks like a short slide behind.
Yes, sir.
on the-
That's exactly right. So if I go to this next slide, you'll be able to see some of those other little components that are wrapped up into it.
Did it have, I didn't notice, I'm looking at it wrong. Did it have the teeter-totter on?
It
the
did
main
not on the
picture?
first one or the one before that. This one does have
Yeah,
that little
includes the
new
teeter-totter.
modernized teeter-totter and then the little cup spinner
Okay.
that you can sit in and spin as well. So this one has some other unique components to it, and being able to do that. So again, we were very excited about this and view this as a very high-starred proposal as well. Okay. If you'd like, we'll move into the triple M proposals. We received 2. Each of these you will find is a very traditional playground introduction. This is probably perhaps bordering a little bit more towards the younger age set in doing that, but very nice in regards to the swings in the back. You actually have 3 bays of swing. One happens to be a shorter one, and that's because there is a parent-child interactive swing. Parent can sit on a belt swing versus the baby swing is placed in front of them and you swing as a complete unit. So that's a very unique little
That's similar
piece.
to the one in Mount Valley.
Yes, no, we do, yes, you're exactly right. We do have that over there. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we have the 2 babies, the 2 belts, and then the parent-child interactive. Okay?
Curious on the, I'm sorry, Triple M's installation prices seem to be double what everybody else is quoting. Is there a reason for that?
I cannot answer that. That is what they
half the
attest to
budget
in
almost.
regards to, yes, sir. Yep, and there is quite a variation amongst all of them in regards to various items, whether it be the other items or their installation. Freight seems to be somewhat of a constant across the board in doing that, taxes of course, but discounts vary greatly as well too. And so it's interesting to look and reflect upon each unit and its level of functionality and play value, and then compare it to what the install as well as just what the unit cost is, and then the overall discounts as well. So
And this one came in right at budget.
this came in right at even budget. Okay. Your next proposal from Triple M, basically we're recommending it be totally eliminated, number 1, because it does not fit within budget whatsoever. It actually exceeds budget by over $11,000. That on its own, I think, eliminates it from any discussion. Yeah.
Great.
All right, your next 3 proposals are coming from Arizona Rec. This is actually a new vendor that we've not worked with before, but they have a very, very nice package of offering here in regards to their 3 different options for us. Unfortunately, I believe, and if I'm wrong, we'll see that illustrated later in the next 2 slides, all 3 of these proposals are void of any swings as part of that package. Each one of these comes in within budget, utilizing all of it to its advantage. It does utilize, each one of these 3 proposals does utilize the site very well. This particular unit has a number of slides on there. It has a climbing wall. It also has its version of the merry-go-round, but it's almost reminiscent of if you've been fortunate enough to go to the fair or to Disneyland and get inside the barrels and you're able to spin yourself through that process. This offers one of those. It also offers their version of that teeter-totter Springer element, as well as then also an inclusive spinner that's out there, as well as some generalized spring
And I can
toys.
tell you, at your point about the swings, there's a line getting to.
Yes, ma'am, they're critical,
Just love the swings.
right? And that's exactly
I
why
would
we...
like to get on them too.
Very nice. And that's exactly why we put swings out of Quitwood this year, because they were missing as well in doing that. Any questions on AZ Rex first proposal? If not, we'll move on to proposal number 2, or option number 2. This particular unit does demonstrate a very good physical element. I think it lends itself, as far as a main structure, more to the upper end of this age spectrum for participation. It is counterbalanced. The little hippo off to the side is actually a slide. It's really for tots in doing that. It has a small little boulder, if you will, next to it. Then again, its version of the spinner, a very medium climbing wall, and then also 2 spring toys.
Considering we just removed a big rock, is this material different than what we had out at Quitwood?
I would probably say no, other than there might have been some improvements in the materials, but without knowing what my past was, I cannot compare to what my future might be.
I notice Arizona Rec doesn't, offer a purchase contract.
They have not offered the purchase contract. All of these are direct quotes. They are not utilizing any of those national purchasing contract opportunities. So if we did choose to go down this route, we would need to be able to demonstrate 3 other competitive quotes, which these could qualify for. However, we would not be able to, if we really liked one that was under budget, that would not qualify, because we would go with the lowest qualifying bid at that point. And then your option 3. Option 3 from Arizona Rec shows a very definite and defined younger age group and older age group with their own independent play units. And then some other unique added features, which is the little balancing cone on the top. And what you're supposed to do is grab a hold of it, spin, as well as pivot, and enjoy all of that upper body strength and hand strength process there.
What are the red and blue things on the bottom right?
Those are those little spring toys, the little spring lockers.
We get no swings.
Correct.
Yeah.
Arizona Rec has done a fabulous job, I think, of utilizing the available space very, very well in its layout. And I'm very excited to have them, because we've not had them as a proposal agency before. So this is very exciting to have this and great variance of supplies. Okay. Any questions on 3?
Was a swing, was swings a requirement or a
It was
suggestion?
not. It was not a required element whatsoever, but everyone and you're seeing variations in all of these proposals of doing that. So no, it is not a baseline requirement. It's an item in regards to how you all view their proposals and professional services.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll move into Exerplay. This particular proposal is very unique and different from the others in regards to their proposal. Option A includes a zip line. I thought that this was extremely interesting, as some of our young people expressed the exact same desire in having that. So this is one of those proposals that does provide this. They do provide the swings in regards to this. They have a couple of other unique features in regards to their proposal. And they do have, again, a segmented younger age group that is found in the cubicle forms in the lower left-hand side, with the older age group there to your right-hand side adjacent to the zip lines there.
Is this element on the left side, on your slide, it's like in the middle? The little blue slide,
That is that, those are those young people, that is that maybe 2 to 5 year old age group. And that is a blue slide coming out of that square. Yep. So the feedback that you would get from staff is now you're getting back into those enclosed environments
yeah.
and doing those types of things, as well as then those flat panels that sometimes are hurt or graffitied or those other types of activities that are negative to
How
doing that.
straight is the zip line? Is that easily damaged or cut?
I'll be honest with you, I don't have a lot of experience on those things. I know that they are very fun when doing them, but I can't give you really much feedback in regards to required maintenance, repair elements. I know when they don't work, it's just a nice, great, big, long piece of metal that's frustrating to those that come and visit. And I've experienced parks like that too. So.
And it's a sitting zip line, so it takes a little.
It is not, those are actually platforms and you grab a hold of it.
I was looking at the picture on the bottom.
Oh, my apologies, you're exactly right. It's like almost like a swing rope.
Yeah.
Going across a creek or something.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you can option on some of those in regards to handheld versions too. The nice part about this being a seated version, if one chooses to transfer again, they can engage that process too. If you don't have the upper body or the hand strength, that is another added nice feature.
What's the weight limit on?
I would actually have to look that up for you, but I would imagine it's probably in excess of 300 pounds for behemoths like me that are still a kid at heart that like to get out there and have a little fun.
The thing with the zip line is they can push off and try and get all the way to the other end, and then they've got to try and push back from the other end.
Exactly.
And it looks like it's an uphill climb on the way
Both
back.
ways.
So, it's just I know that they could get down, but then coming back
Yep.
with the zip line.
It's actually a nice little curve. Part of that design is if you get motoring, we don't want to come at an extreme abrupt stop that takes you elsewhere off the apparatus. So it's actually, you're going to get going, come down, and gradually slow down to a point that then you can get your footing and transfer.
They have a zip line at Mountain View School,
Yes.
and I've seen kids, when I went there, it was actually easy to push off and go one way, but very difficult for them to come
Get
back. Most times they had to walk it back to
Yep.
the next guy waiting in line.
Exactly. So those are those things that you have to look at is, do you view that as a potential downfall or not?
And just the sitting is preferred, I would think, just from personal experience. When one of my sons broke his arm when he was a young kid on the holding one, then came to the abrupt stop and
Yeah.
face planted and broke
Yes,
his
sir.
arm.
Exactly.
So,
There you go. Experience speaks volumes.
yes.
Yes.
And it could always be easy vandalism.
Yes, that's the unfortunate. But it's a cool thing.
It's very cool.
It's a very
A
cool
lot of fun when it works.
Yes, and they do fit within budget as well
Very good.
in doing that. They do not, their swings are not the more preferred with a double or arch post situation, so that would be another feedback item there. Okay? Option B, also inclusive of swings. This one has a very unique one. Those are actually seated facing belt swings. Young people and persons of all ages are able to swing through that process. We've got a couple of standard belt swings, also a baby swing on the end. This one also has separation of the two age groups, if you will. The younger group onto the right, towards the back side of it, is more of a playhouse type environment, but it's an enclosed structure situation there. Then coming from that on the far right-hand side, a couple of unique little play bouncy elements that are found over in that particular location as well. This one does have a lot of physical engagement activity, so that's a very nice thing as well
And
too.
another zip line.
Another variation of, very small and limited, and it's actually more of a balance walk situation. That's more of a hand guide to help you maintain. But if you see in that lower left-hand corner, you'll see that variation of that belt swing tandem riders there.
Again, it comes in under budget.
Yes, sir, it does.
I think this area was rather empty compared to some of the others.
All right. And then your last proposal from Exerplay is option C. Again, continuation of the separation of age groups. They have also provided their variation of that merry-go-round in doing that. They have proposed then the arch swings in this review. They have maintained the same swing configurations, the same also the little spinner exerciser that's located in the middle of your proposal. And then also a couple of extra spring toys as well to fill out the site. There are some play panels on here. You'll see the young man there with the yellow panel representing some bongo drums. Okay. So with that, that concludes our listed proposals for your review this evening. If you choose that you would like to consider additional time to review each of these, ask more questions of staff, or review any of the other documentation that has come with these proposals, we're happy to be able to assist you. If you choose to want to make a motion and provide recommendation to council or staff in regards to additional information, we can make that happen. With then proposals going to council in September with the requested goal of installation by Thanksgiving. That would be our set. Otherwise, we'd probably be looking more around Christmas if we wanted to look at additional reviews and then recommendations coming in September. 100% your choice. We can make that happen.
So what I'd like to do is, let's go individually down the line. We'll start with Kevin. Hear your comments, your thoughts, and any options, or if you need to think about, we'd like more time, your aspects.
Sure, I'm just gonna pick my three top choices. I like to play it safe A, play it safe C, and then this last one, this extra play C. You know, my top three choices. I think I agree that we need the swings. I like the double leg swing. This one here's got a lot of nice stuff spread out. So I just don't know right now what my top choice would be, but those are my top three.
I think
And again, because there's no closed type, enclosures there,
Yes, sir.
and this one being spread out seems like it's got a lot of devices for all age groups. I think that's kind of what I look at on my top three choices.
And all three of your choices are all under budget.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
They are.
Ron?
Well, strangely enough, I agree completely with Kevin. I like to play it safe A and C, and the last one with Everplay. Staff recommended the play it safe A option, and why was that?
And we can go back and quick review there. Oh, way too quick. Okay, so staff's review of this was basically, we like the verticality of it, we like the integration of traditional and non-traditional play values in doing that, a lot of the physical engagement. We like the socialization that comes from the spinner that's there, really doing that. Also the engagement of the parent through that process, being able to make those things happen. If this particular unit was chosen, the one feedback item that I think we would give to the vendor to see if there's any flexibility on relates back to the swings, so that we could look at possible an arch or a double leg system in doing that. And then maybe perhaps some other discussions as it relates to the roof and what that can be transferred into doing some other things, simply because we have some rather agile young people. So if we can, we'll take that roof away.
That would be my comment too, is that roof is the first thing that stands out for graffiti and future Spider-Man.
Yes, King of the Hill, Spider-Man, all of those kind of good things. Definitely doing that. And so those were a lot of the big components. We saw the little climbing panels as elements of a climbing wall, but not having the degradation that we experienced over at the unit in Quailwood, doing all of those types of things. The little spinner of the young lady in the yellow shirt coming off of the main body of the playground is an element that we experience over at Bob Edwards.
Yeah,
And it is a highly utilized piece of equipment.
by all ages.
Exactly, all ages. Definitely utilizing that.
Yellow just below the roof, on the ground.
See the little blue tentacled, yeah, okay. Then on top of that, it also came, it was the best budgeted playground as well too. Not that that's a huge concern, but if there needs to be some ebb and flex based upon what we discover through the process and everything, we have a little bit of flexibility there, or we can even see if we can add a little bit to things. But the intent is to go through this, when I say add, when we're talking about the swings and getting more into a feature that we would like to have from a sustainability standpoint and those types of things.
Yeah, with this, you actually have a couple of dollars to work with. And
Exactly.
if we could enhance the swings a little bit, that might be good. So, yeah, definitely, I like that.
Most definitely, and we feel the same way about, and right now, you and Kevin are reflected in regards to option C. We're just as equally excited about that particular unit too. And matter of fact, it gives some things that the other one doesn't. So it's almost for us, right now, I think it's a workable opportunity. Okay.
Pat?
I like the A and C and the extra play C also, but with the C from Play It Safe being my number one choice, I just think there's more bang for the little extra money we're getting there. With the double arch swings already included, more interactive climbing features, a little more open feel to it than this feels kind of compressed to me, but that's my opinion.
You should go to option 4 so that you kind of see the color.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
You like the openness of that?
I do.
Okay.
I do, and same with the extra play option C, the last slide. Just looking at it on paper, it looks like it has a lot of openness. It has the double arch swings, has a spinner, has stuff for the younger crowd and the older.
Right.
And a spinner, I guess that's up in the
It's
right hand side.
Right-hand side, yes, sir. Yep.
So, and they're all great proposals. But my personal choice would be Play It Safe. C is the number one.
I have a little asterisk next to it. Okay.
Elaine?
I've only chosen 2.
Okay.
I like both of the ones in Play It Safe. I would take C first as my number 1 choice.
Okay.
We have a lot of options in there, all age groups. And A is my second choice. I did not consider any of the extra play.
Myself, I like the new technology as far as the very last one we looked at, the extra play with the swings, where you can put the family in the 2 swings and go, but then again, we have to think about how easily could they be vandalized, because it's going to be a new thing in the parks, and people go, wow, this is great. And we always find those people that seem like, how can I break this?
How many people can we fit in?
Yeah, exactly. But I did like that, and I do like this extra play layout. There is a lot of things going on for kids to do in that park. And then I think about the size of the playground area in George Anderson, excuse me. And, you know, a lot of that, if we put in, to me, it's going to feel like it's going to be kind of crammed in a little area, because there is quite a bit of things there to do. I do like the swings with the double arch. I also did like the Play It Safe C option, where I think we're touching base with a lot more age groups of kids. We've touched the 2 to 4, but then as those kids, and even of course when mom and dad take kids to the playgrounds, they're gonna hold them and let those kids grab those bars and let them go and do the things. And I thought that was kind of neat. I did like A, but I also thought C was gonna, maybe for that area right now, some of the kids are no longer small and young. They're starting to grow, and they're catching school buses, and I've seen them out there. And we're looking at an older group, and I thought, you know, this would be a group that would go out there and utilize more of the climbing and the thing, and developing strength and coordinations and things. So I really did kind of like option C from play it safe. Does everybody feel as though they need more time? Do you want to review this again, or do you think everybody's at a consensus where they could have a motion and make a decision?
I think we could probably do that. I just want to add one little thing, because I like both with play it safe, A and C. The one advantage I see to A is that we have a little extra money that really could maybe go to enhancing the swings. And in any park that you go to, there's kids in the swings. When we went to George Anderson, the kids were playing in the swings and the tire swing. That's number one.
Slides in.
I'd like having a few extra dollars to see if we can get more.
Well, and I think if we take a quick peek at this C version, we're actually accomplishing that within the proposal and the dollars that are given, because in proposal C, it actually does reflect the arch swings. And actually, in this case, and we can talk to the manufacturer in regards to how we want to put those together. The nice part about it is in their proposal, there is an adaptive swing that they are proposing in their swing set as it is right now, which is an added feature that we weren't necessarily seeing in any of the other proposals in doing that.
Another point too is on the overhead detail, the blow up on the second page of C.
Yes, sir.
We're also getting the teeter-totter and the little cup.
That's right. That's right. Now, can I interject one item? Because I heard several of the commissioners as we were reviewing the whole array of these types of things, and if you would want to pursue this, we could look at it as an option. This one proposal, and there were several by multiple manufacturers, this one does not have the merry-go-round. Would that be something that you would want staff to speak with this particular vendor if this is the direction you wanted to go? Which it seemed like there were quite a few, and quite a few with Stars as well too as their number one choice. That perhaps we could look at the blue ball caged weeble wobble thing, maybe the cup spinner, and whatever other conversation we could have to find a way to get the merry-go-round as a possibility. Physically, it may not work because each one of these play apparatuses have to have their safety fall zones. So it just may not be an option, but so long as it was still within the budget and doing those things and substitute some things, that was the only one thing that I saw as a negative in this one compared to some of the others, and you hit some of the ones that, I mean, had it. And I thought that was a very exciting thing because this would be the park that would have something that none of the other parks have. And it would be that merry-go-round feature. I can't honestly sit here and tell you whether that works or it doesn't work and what the cause effect would ultimately be, because I would argue we don't want to negatively affect the main structure. But perhaps maybe it's this leaf-looking thing off to the left-hand side combined with the weeble wobble and the cup in order to make that work. I don't know. But it is an opportunity.
So the swings on that picture there, that would be the swings we would get. We don't have an option. We'd get 2 baby swings, and the other 2 swings.
Or we could possibly get 2 belts and possibly a baby with the ADA. I'm not for certain where the current standard is, because back in the day, you were not able to put one with another, or even you were only allowed to have one. So that would be something to review, and they may already be reflecting that because of current standards and what we have. Or there are no baby swings, and we go with 2 belts.
Yeah.
You can figure those things out. I would say that that would probably be the better direction to go because of a greater use functionality.
And the kids are elderly, there's not a lot of babies coming to Georgia.
Well, the other thing is, you know, hey, we need to quit protecting these guys and just do it like our parents did, and we sat in their laps as an infant, and
Yeah, well, my
if we
kids
got thrown out with the bathwater, that's what, no, I'm not advocating that at all. Doing those types of things.
Another thing I like about C is that a lot of them, none of them has gone into these little tic-tac-toe
Panels.
panels.
Oh, yes.
Which I feel, they're gonna get locked up and.
Sure. Yep, we do experience that.
There's a lot of friends who've gone into those panels, and I don't feel that that's a necessary thing for the playground. I would want to see it.
I'd be comfortable with my opinion if the teeter-totter, the cup, and the little ball thing morphed into a merry-go-round.
Okay.
So instead of accepting a motion, do we need more, do you need more time to be able to contact these people with the recommended changes we're looking at?
I'm comfortable with doing outreach. If your recommendation is this unit, see if we can get the other in exchange for X or Y. But if not, this is the direction that we want to go. I'm totally comfortable with that. That gives me the time then for what I need to do and providing then the recommendation to council in September. Because it'll be an either or situation.
So a quick recap, say we're looking at option C for what we're looking at here.
Yes, sir.
And you could, if you could make a deal with the play it safe and say, okay, we don't really need the spinning cup or the climbing
Right.
block looking thing. Can we switch those two out, maybe get a merry-go-round
So long as it fits within the context of what we've got.
and stays within the same kind of budget?
Correct.
Plus you have 39 cents to work with.
Okay, does everybody feel comfortable enough with the decision tonight and making the motion?
Yeah,
Can I make one request?
Yes.
Okay, if, let's say that could not happen, the merry-go-round is not there, do you feel passionate enough to go to option A and see if the remaining budget dollars allows for then a change in the swings?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
And removal of the roof.
And then we'll there we go. Okay, all right. So basically what we're saying is more preferred is option C. Secondarily, if that can't fit, but we could make an improvement or change in the swings and still retain, then the spinner, that would be the more preferred thing to do.
Okay, so I will accept the motion for choices of playground equipment for George Anderson Park.
I will make a motion for play it safe, option C. And, we'll let Brian see what we can do, and option A would be a backup to that. But option C would definitely be the preferred with the spinner and maybe some, whatever changes we can make to the swings to make them friendly for the older kids.
In option A.
I have that motion and a second.
I'll second it.
And a motion and a second. So let me go individually and get a vote in case there's some discrepancies instead of all of us just yelling aye or nay. Well, let me go down the line. If we could get a roll call, Kathy, and have each person's individual vote. Sure.
Okay, Commissioner Frayer,
Yes, for option C is choice number 1 as stated in the motion.
Back up.
With backup A.
okay, let's see, Commissioner Brinkman,
Yes.
Commissioner Fallon,
Yes?
Commissioner Trujillo,
I concur.
and Chairperson Miller.
And yes. Okay, so we have a unanimous decision on playground option C first, that came in at under budget. And if that doesn't seem to, Brian can't work his magic for us, then we will go ahead and go back with our option A, hoping that we'll have a few extra bucks to reorder, design the swings.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will get to work.
Very good. Moving on, we'll go to new business, NRPA Great Urban Parks Campaign Grant.
Yes, I just wanted to bring to the commission's attention, in partnership with the Friends of Prescott Valley Parks and Recreation, we have submitted a grant application to the National Park and Recreation Association's Great Urban Parks Campaign Grant. What this is doing is working in partnership with John Munderloh, our Water Resources Manager, also a couple of engineer professionals, and making application for upstream mitigation efforts in the Rose Creek branch of Fame Park. So what we're looking at is restoration efforts for detention basin upstream, as well as also championing some local product with wattles that are coming from regional brush through eliminating invasive species so that it can be used as a pedestal for future advancement of that industry. Not to mention then a large benefit to the lake. If that is so done, we would hopefully have resources amounting to hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to make those improvements, especially being that it is an over-riparian area and we're meeting some very key critical elements of the grant's focus in doing such. So we've completed that research, the partnerships, the evaluations, and we've submitted that grant. If so, the Friends will be the recipient on our behalf for the betterment of our park system, focusing on Fame Park and Fame Lake. So keep your fingers crossed.
So that would be an engineering component first, and then actual construction of
You are correct.
mitigation.
Efforts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
So would that be, I mean, I'm sure the engineering is not completed yet, but
No, sir. This would be contingent upon award and acceptance of the grant by council.
so when you say detention, basically would be upstream,
It'd be upstream
and
and
to hold the water flow to a reasonable.
reasonable catch. That's the largest majority of that sediment as it goes downstream. Of course, we have our efforts that we've done through Arizona Game and Fish Heritage Grant funding sources. So this would be an additional effort, but further upstream within town property assets. Yes, sir.
Any questions, comments?
Much needed.
Yeah, very, very much needed. And moving on, we'll go to other. Does anybody have questions, comments, anything they need to bring up to the meeting this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to unscheduled public appearances. Like we'll have none of those this evening. So we'll go through the number 12A will be a work study, Tuesday, August 28th, 3:30, Parks and Rec's conference room. 3:30 works for everybody. We've discussed, and 3:30 seems to be okay for everybody. And then we will have another work study on Tuesday, September 11th. And these work studies are we going to be looking at master plan?
Yes, sir.
Master plan. And then our regular meeting will be Tuesday, September 11th at 6:30 right here. And then our work study meeting Tuesday, September 25th, again over master plan, 3:30 in the conference room. Anybody else have anything to add? If not, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn this evening's wonderful meeting.
Second?
I'll second.
A motion is second. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you, Prescott Valley. See you next month.
It wasn't very, it's just hot.
I mean, yeah, we can't